Welcome to Rise and Inspire.
Here we are.
Wow, we made it. Are you shocked? Are you as shocked as I am?
Yeah, I mean, it is a new year. We got a lot of changes going on. So we just going to change the day or time. Right. We haven't decided that far yet.
I know. You never know with us, but we'll keep you updated either way.
So today's topic, I'll jump in and say the topic, then we'll introduce ourselves. It's going to be all about choosing your heart, especially as we go into the new year. We thought this would be a good one to kick off the new year with. I am Darcy Burke. I go by Darcy Elizabeth on Facebook, darcyelizabeth.co on Instagram, and darcyelizabeth.co for my website.
And I am Kelly Patricia. So you can find me on Instagram, Kelly_Patricia, and then on Facebook, just Kelly Patricia.
Perfect. So I figured that this would be a really good one because a lot of times with New Year's, we set these goals, right? Yep. And did you know that only 8% follow through their New Year's resolution?
Wow. That's not high.
No, that's not high. And like the thing that gets me is it's like we set these goals because we really want to make that change in our life. Yep. So to think that only 8%, actually accomplish those goals, it's like, whoa.
Do you think it's maybe because our goals that we're trying to do may be a little, not unrealistic, but some of them can just be a little, like, I know when people say, I'm going to go on a diet starting January 1st, but do diets work long-term is my question. Or do you just have to find what works best for you to live a healthier lifestyle? Do you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. I think it's both. Sometimes we set them like too big. Like, it's like, okay, where do you even start? And then the other one is like, you end up falling off because it is challenging. It is hard. It's hard to make that change in your life.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why you got to choose your heart.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So when it comes to choosing your heart for me, I feel like it goes both ways. So let's use exercise as an example. Sometimes it's hard to get up and work out in the morning. Who wants to get up early? And so sometimes it's like hard to make that commitment, hard to get up in the morning, and hard to actually push yourself through the workout.
Yeah.
But the other side of that is the opposite. Like, it's hard living in a body where you don't feel good either.
Right. So true. So it's always such a difficult decision because there's so many choices, and it's what can you actually live with long term? Like, which one, so that's why it's always so challenging. And just because things are hard doesn't mean they're unrealistic either. It just means sometimes you just have to put that little extra effort into it, and really stick to it. And I know we've done something on fear before, but I think a lot of times that comes into play as well.
Yeah, I think that, fear comes into play, and it's like sometimes people look at it like it's harder to pick yourself than it is to not get the workout in, or whatever the goal is or whatever you're facing. At the end of the day, life's hard.
That's right.
Amen to that.
Yeah. And, I was just telling my kid this. We were just having a conversation, I should say. I was telling her, I'm like, so I know a lot of people think life is supposed to be easy, right? So when a challenge comes your way, you're like, whoa, roadblock, not happening. Do you know what I mean? So I always like to explain that life actually is hard. There are challenges you have to face. There's stepping out of your comfort zone. There's just so many different things. And because we know life is supposed to be hard, we have to choose how we're going to deal with that.
Right. Very true. Very true. And like, I think sometimes we get hooked on the making life so much easier. Think about nutrition, right? you sometimes like take the fast food approach because it's quick, it's fast, it gets everybody satisfied, boom, bam. But if you end up making your meal and it's good ingredients, yeah, it's going to be a little harder, right? It's going to take more time, but you're going to feel better.
Worth it.
Worth it. You're going to feel better. Your body's going to appreciate it. And you want to know what I notice the most when it comes to like fast food versus like a good healthy meal is my mood. If
Big
I
time.
eat crap, I feel like crap.
Mm-hmm. For that like 1 second as I'm devouring it, I'm like, I love this. And then after I'm like, oh my God, I don't love this. Just kidding. That was my taste buds playing tricks on me.
Right, right. So what is a choose your heart in your life? Do you feel like what's something you came across lately?
Okay. So lately I would say getting back into real life. Obviously, people can tell I'm not at my house right now. And if you watch my stories, you can tell it's been super weird this week because I haven't been doing my normal routine and things have been crazy. So, what I was going to talk about today is I've been faced recently with a really difficult decision of like what I want to do next for a path because in 2020, not only did I have to have surgery and then recover from that, but my job also shut down. So I had to decide what I was going to do with my life. And I didn't know. I had options, but I didn't know. And this is something I was actually going to keep quiet because I don't know if it was like the fear of failure. So I
Right.
didn't want like other people to I didn't want other people to know what I was up to just in case, like, it didn't work out, they didn't like me, or I wasn't, like smart enough for the job at hand, or just like so many things roll through your head because you are your own worst critic, right? So in my case, I did, however, end up getting a new job that I'm started this week. So it's still very new to me, but I chose to tell people about it now because I'm reading Fear's Your Homeboy. Yeah, and it's so good, you guys. If you haven't read it, definitely listen to it. It's helped me so much. But it's just helped me really this week. And I realized that there is really no failure here at choosing a new career path or a job because it's either you succeed in it or you learn from it. And then I think that's what they were talking about in the book too. So this was just really difficult because I didn't know what, but I had to choose something. So I could either go down the path of what I was doing, or I could choose to step outside my comfort zone, which is so hard for me, and try something new. And I don't like to feel like a beginner or not know what I'm doing. And that's how I felt. So that was my hard, and I chose to challenge myself, and I chose to take that on and learn the best that I could at my ability.
Right. And I'm
Even-
so proud of you. Like I know it's a huge like definitely adjustment
Mhm.
too, but it's
Worth it.
we always talk about stepping outside that comfort zone.
Yeah.
And when you do, like think about when we started the show, right? That was a huge
my
step
God.
outside of our comfort zone. And now it's like something we look forward to every week.
Yeah, I love it. It's so great. So that's why things have been a little crazy and we're trying to figure out like what works best for both of our schedules now, because obviously you're working from home with yours and I have to go out now into the real world, which is actually very hard. You guys know I deal with anxiety and depression. I've talked about it, but I control it and I deal with it the best of my ability. But actually that was one of the hardest parts for me, is realizing I have to go back out into the real life and learn how to deal with everything.
Right. Yeah.
So this is like my new best.
Yeah, that must be a big change too.
Big change.
So basically, like Kelly and I see a lot that we work with a whole bunch of people, and we notice that like one thing we're constantly saying is choose your heart. And we just like want you to remember that either way, it's going to be hard. And like you can choose your heart. Like one quote I always love, it's like, it was like, choose your hard, stay together or get divorced. They're both gonna be hard, right?
Right.
Like you got to really analyze like what kind of hard are you putting yourself through, and what is like the end result of it.
And you know, another thing that I want to say quickly, before I ask you if you have any examples of anything recently, but choosing your heart, sharing out into the real world, right? So I'm choosing to share, whether you know everything works out perfectly or not, or this and that, because I we like to help people, right? So we like to help people step outside their comfort zone, you know, don't always take the easy path and learn to adjust and do what you can. And it's okay. Like I said, it's not failing, it's learning either way. So you're winning.
Right.
And that's why I'm sharing it, just to like let anyone else know it may seem hard, but it's going to be worth it. And you just got to go for it and don't overthink things.
Right.
But yeah, so sharing with the public can always be tricky too, but hey, choose your heart.
Here's your heart.
Do
So
you have any examples, Doris?
I got a good example right now. So one of my 2021 goals, I'm not going to say exactly what it is, but it's a really big goal. Okay. And since it's such a big goal, it's also a big financial goal. And I'm literally choosing to cut down on certain things in my budget so I can make this big goal happen.
Yeah.
But that's hard. Like it sounds crazy, but I like, there's certain things I like, there's certain products I want. I'm used to being able to buy all that stuff. So choosing that hard of putting my goal ahead of my personal preferences for, simple things, even like going out to eat, stuff like that. That's something I'm really struggling right now. So that is like my hard, but I have to remember on the opposite way, if I don't conquer this goal, I'm going to forever have that feeling of like, I could have done this, but I, didn't because I was struggling with not buying stuff.
That's another thing why I was like, I've been dealing with that recently, not being able to live with the means that I normally have because I didn't have a job. So I was like, okay, fine. I want to go shopping.
And I feel like that's something that people don't talk about enough is because like nobody wants to talk about their financials, right? Of course not. But a lot of times in life, you have to choose your hard, like
live with one or the other.
right.
It's like I could have stayed home. I could have, had to like watch my grocery bills and not be able to go out and buy like my Energize that I love or, clothes or whatever. Or I can choose to go on the other path and see what I can do. And that's the path that I chose.
Right. Exactly.
And yeah.
So with that, we're going to keep this one short. We will be back next week. We'll probably actually give you guys a date later today of like what we're going to do going forward.
Yeah.
But yeah, choose your heart, y'all. And as always, reach out to us. We would love to hear what your choose your heart is right now.
Absolutely.
And, as you're going through the new year and you're trying to accomplish your goals, just remember why you set them.
Absolutely. I love it.
Love it. Love it. So have a great day, everybody.
See you next week.